Just got to find a way to get in. Well, it'll start this weekend. The Chiefs have a really important matchup this weekend against the AFC leading Colts. According to ESPN Analytics, the Chiefs currently have a 53% chance to make the playoffs. That increases to 64% with a win on Sunday. But with the loss, that number drops to just 35%. So, RC, is the Chiefs season on the line this weekend against a really good Colts team?
Absolutely. You're playing the Indianapolis Colts, who are one of the best teams in all of football. But following this game, you play a team that's improved in the Cowboys. You have to play the Broncos again, the Chargers, and the Houston Texans team that will feel like they are in must-win situations as well throughout this season. It's the playoffs for the Kansas City Chiefs right now.
Cam, what do you think? Must-win situation for the Chiefs?
No, ma'am, not at all. Patrick Mahomes said it. You just have to find a way to get in. I think the margin of error or, you need help from other teams to get in. But there's no denying that if the Kansas City Chiefs do make or find a way to make the playoffs with the help, like I will reiterate, with the help of other teams, their season is not over. I don't see another team wanting to see a Kansas City team, whether home or away.
Yeah, their playoffs start this weekend. Just numerically, just numbers are what they are. I mean, they're chasing Buffalo, who owns the tiebreaker over them. They're chasing Houston. They're chasing the Jags. They're chasing the Chargers, who own the tiebreaker right now over them. And they're tied with Baltimore. I mean, there's only 7 getting in. So numbers-wise, if they lose, they're just going to be so far behind everybody else that they're going to have to bank on. And Kim's right, yes, help, but they're going to have to bank on 5 or 6 teams providing so much help and falling off to get in. They have to win out to feel very confident.
Go ahead, Stephen A.
I agree. They got to win. I think this is a must-win situation for the Chiefs. I think the season's on the line. I don't think you can afford to lose to any team ahead of you in the playoff standings. Obviously, the Colts, we anticipate they'll win the AFC South, but the bottom line is that Houston is still ahead of you. The Buffalo Bills are going to be a wild card in all likelihood because they're not going to catch New England. So I'm looking at it from that standpoint. And then you look, I know they get the Chargers and the Broncos on their schedule. I expect the Broncos to win the AFC West. I expect the Chargers to be right there for a wild card spot, and you got an opportunity to knock them off. But if you lose to the Colts, they really, really put you behind the 8 ball. And I think that's too much of an insurmountable situation, even for Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid to overcome. They've got to win this game against the Colts on Sunday.
Yeah, the Chiefs need to string together some wins. All right, so week 12, going to put the league's moneymakers front and center. And it was a little untraditional how we got here, right? America's team felt very out of the mix at 3-5-1. But after a few trade acquisitions and a galvanizing team win, the Cowboys are center stage this weekend at home against the conference's best in the Eagles in what feels like an opportunity more than a long shot all of a sudden. But one of the Cowboys' best former players won't be watching them in primetime. He'll likely be focused on his son, making his first career start against the team the Cowboys just shellacked. Are you following me here? Shedeur Sanders, a 5th-round pick that was once QB4 on the Browns roster, will be under the bright lights of Vegas with little wiggle room. But again, an opportunity to show why he deserves these bright lights and big headlines. And so what are we more intrigued to watch this weekend? Is it Shedeur Sanders making his first start for the Browns or the Cowboys against the Eagles? Stephen A., what do you think?
Listen, for me personally, just for this week, it would be Shedeur Sanders. Obviously, beyond that, the Cowboys are the more intriguing storyline, particularly if they beat the Philadelphia Eagles this Sunday night, because that will make things very, very interesting. But I think because of all the noise that was made since he departed from Colorado, leading up to the NFL draft, the day of the NFL draft, the immediate aftermath of the NFL draft, and beyond, I think all eyes in the National Football League are going to be on Shedeur Sanders and how he performs this weekend. It'll be the lone weekend that happens, but I think right now, just for this Sunday, I think that all eyes are going to be on this young man.
Okay, what are you more intrigued to watch, Cam Newton, Shedeur Sanders, or the Dallas Cowboys?
I'll second Stephen A. Smith, and why? It's because this is a career-defining moment. When it's all said and done, he will look back at this opportunity specifically and say, hey, yo, my first start was this moment. You can mention and try to see the interest in the Cowboys game, but with what Shedeur is, and for the eyeballs, not liking him, loving him, understanding what he came from Colorado to his father, those type of dynamics now come to a boiling point to being magnified even more for the right reasons if you succeed, or the wrong reasons if you do not.
Yeah, for me, it's Dallas. Can you actually get yourself into the playoff race going against a division opponent that we know is one of the best teams in football? It's also four different pieces on defense. Clowney's new, Quinnen Williams is new, Demarion Overshown is new, and Logan Wilson. Those guys didn't play week one. We haven't really seen this defense that is remade versus a team that we think is a credible one. The Raiders are not. And so, yeah, I mean, there's a reality where, like, yo, if this defense looks better and they're somehow capable of winning, then it becomes a much greater conversation. They'll play the Chiefs on Thanksgiving Day. I'm interested to see Shedeur. I'll probably be more interested next week when he has to play, a significantly improved team, the 49ers, in comparison to the Raiders. So I would be much more intrigued if the opponent was a more respectable one than the Raiders are in comparison for Shedeur. So I say the Cowboys just because they matter if they win.
It's Shedeur Sanders, and it's not even close. Whether it's the Dallas Cowboys you put up in this equation, whether you say the Kansas City Chiefs, or pick any NFL team, pick any NBA team, pick any NHL team that will also play this weekend, and Shedeur Sanders is the bigger story. Shedeur Sanders is what we're paying attention to. Matter of fact, we talked about Shedeur Sanders on this show almost every week, and he ain't throw a pass in the regular season game until last week, and he wasn't even supposed to then. And so Dan is giving us the very logical football X and O. I love to analyze this game answer, but that is not the real answer for anybody, because the only week the Dallas Cowboys can play a big game and not be the A's of get up and not be the A's of first take.
That's the beginning of the show for non-TV people.
Will be this week, because whether he plays well or whether he plays badly, Shedeur Sanders will lead every show. And as much as Dan talking about it, yeah, he gonna have 17 tapes from the Cowboys game. The first tape, he gonna be standing up in front of the screen, doing his hand like this here when he talk, is gonna be the one that breaks down Shedeur Sanders.
It's just Browns Raiders. Browns Raiders just doesn't sound as sexy as Cowboys Eagles.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Like, when you look at the totality of it, it doesn't. Not saying that it's not something we want to keep our eye on, right, Cam Newton? Like, obviously, Browns Raiders just doesn't ring the exact same way.
Yeah, it's when you factor in everything that's going on and all the reality TV moments with off the field antics to on the field performances, or what we may know or what we may not know, that's what makes Shedeur Sanders' situation a little bit different rather than the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles.
All right, we're looking forward to it. Something tells me this show, no matter what happens, we're going to leave with Cowboys on the day.